Welcome to the Differential Show.
Here are my top 3 transfers in this week.
Number 3.
Trent has been amazing. Let's just go over his stats in the last 5 games. He has an XGI of 2.5. His expected points is 27.61 to his actual 43. So he has been overperforming a bit. He has 6 big chances created with an XG of 0.89 and 24 key passes, which is the most in the league in the last 5 games. 1 goal, 3 assists, and he is 18.3% owned. So that's why he's considered a differential. If we look at his fixtures, he does have Burnley away, Newcastle home, and then Bournemouth away. He is averaging 8.5 points per game throughout the season. XG is 0.15, which is good for a defender. His splits very much one-sided to the home fixture, but if you look at his away fixtures coming up, they are easier teams. This is one of those, if you have the 8.3, this is the time to do it. He has some good fixtures right there in front of you that you can see, and he has returned in the last 7 games.
Number 2.
Richarlison is my number 2 transferred in player this week. In the last 5 games, he has 1.8 XGI, and his expected points is 20.43 to his 34 points, so he's overachieved a bit. He has 5 big chances, and he has 1.75 XG, and he's 3.4% owned. If we look at his fixtures, he has Brighton away, Bournemouth at home, and then Man U away. He has averaged 6.8 points per game throughout the season, XG at 0.35. His home and away splits are pretty amazing. It's very favorable at home. So if you're looking to swap out one of those AFCON or Asian Cup players, say like a He-Chan, this is a good pickup this week. He's got those fixtures, he's in form, and is an easy swap.
Number 1.
Coming in at number 1 is Solanke. I wonder why. Let's check the data. His XGI is 3.1, expected points 23.62 to his 32 points, and he has 17 in the box shots, and he has 5 goals from that. At 21.9% owned, he is the number 1 transferred in player on my list this week. So if you're still holding on to Darwin, which most of us are not, but if you are, this is an easy one. Go ahead and just rip the band-aid off and bring Solanke in. He has Fulham at home, Tottenham away, Liverpool at home. So not the greatest fixtures, but he is in form. He is averaging 8.6 points per game throughout the season. XG at 0.73, which is amazing. Home and away splits, look at that. He's done really well away too. For a team that's not so great, but at 6.9, he's a great player to bring in, especially if you have Darwin. Just go ahead and make that change. Here are some honorable mentions. Paqueta. Let's go with Paqueta. Let's look at his data. His XGI is 1.1, expected points 15.83 to his 25 points. He has 4 big chances created, and he's only 1.9% owned. He has the most assists in the last 5 games, but people are not considering him because they either have Bowen, they have Kudus, or they don't own any of them, and if they did bring in a West Ham player, it would be more likely to bring in Bowen. But he's only 1.9% owned. Here's an opportunity. This guy's setting up all these players. You might think, well, Kudus is going to be leaving in a couple weeks, but maybe he gets on the score sheet because of that. So just keep in mind, after this Arsenal game that comes up, when he comes up to Brighton in that week, maybe he's the guy you're looking for. Before we get started, let's just take a look at that heat map. This guy is everywhere. He's all over the field. He's on the corner kicks, free kicks, but not many people are talking about him. In the last 5 game weeks, his XGI is 3.2, which is higher than anyone I've talked about today. His expected points is 22.74 to his 27 actual points, so it's right there. He has 19 key passes, which is just below Trent, and he has 3 big chances created. He has 1 goal, 3 assists in his last 5 games, and he's 3.3% owned. So why don't we own him? Because we have 5 midfielder spots that we have designated for other people, right? But let's just look at the fixtures. Oh, but we have Tottenham next. Well, actually, Tottenham has the highest XGC in the last 5 games, which is goals conceded. Then they have West Ham, then they have Wolves at home. So excellent fixtures going forward at 6.4. That's great value. Points per game is 6.0. XG is 0.23. As home and away, he's more favorable at home. But if you're thinking about something different, which this is what the show is about, right? But this is the guy I would key in on because of those fixtures, very low owned, and he actually gets the return. So it's not just the expected points, he actually comes through. Well, that's it for this edition of the Differential Show. I'm FPL Marty. We will be getting back to the longer editions once we get through game week 18 and 19. Until then, please give me a subscribe and a like, and I will see you in a couple days.